Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate you joining me. Now, I think you know what I have in front of you here. It really needs no introduction. This is the now soon to be incredibly famous and legendary titanium square from G-Shock. Shopping in Japan was kind enough to loan me this watch for a review. I'm super excited. There's a lot of stuff I want to tell you about this watch and about another watch that I have with me, and we're going to do a little bit of compare and contrast. This is going to be my last review of 2019, so I kind of wanted to go out with a bang. This thing is incredibly cool. It's incredibly expensive, as y'all already know. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So this is, in Japan, the GMW-B5000TB-1JR, and for the rest of the world, it's GMW-B5000TB-1. Again, this is the new titanium square. People have been asking G-Shock to make this watch for years, and they finally did it. Anyway, as y'all already know, I've partnered up with Shopping in Japan, and I'm super excited. They loan me these watches. I don't get to keep them, nor do I make a dime if any of y'all buy from Shopping in Japan. You can, however, save yourself 20 bucks by using my coupon code MAV20OFF, that's MAV20OFF, to save yourself $20 off, and that will basically cover most of your shipping costs from Japan. Also, make sure you check out my Amazon shopping channel for all of my favorite watches that I've reviewed on this channel, and be sure to visit my Teespring merch store and pick yourself up a t-shirt. I have all brand new designs, and they're on sale from now until the end of the year. Make sure you use my coupon code MAV15OFF, that's MAV15OFF, to save 15% off your entire order. I'll make sure to put both of those links in the description field for you. So again, guys, this is my last review of 2019. I kind of wanted to go out with a bang. I've been looking forward to reviewing this thing forever. It's not going to be a full review. I mean, y'all basically know all the specs of this watch. I mean, you've got Bluetooth, you've got atomic, you've got solar, you've got 5 alarms, you've got a stopwatch, you know, calendar, countdown timer. You've got everything you need with this watch. So you know the basic specs. And basically, I did a review of the GMW-B5000TB-1JR, I guess, I don't know, a month or so ago. This watch basically has all the same specs. The only difference is the build materials and maybe some build quality just a little bit. But basically, this, the titanium, the all metal, and the plastic or resin squares are all the same watch, minus a couple minor differences so far as the display and module goes, and obviously big differences in the actual construction with the metal and this one, the titanium. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. You get a really nice presentation box. The same presentation box that was in that Antarctic Research rover G-Shock Frogman that I reviewed, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. There you go, there it is. And man, I'm telling you, upon first looking at this watch, you can feel the build quality just by looking at the watch. That's how nicely this thing is built. It's a stunner. It's a stunner in person. Really, really neat watch. I'm so glad I got to review this thing before the end of the year. Absolutely stunning. Now, over here, you don't get much, but you do get, you know, your warranty stuff, and what is this right here? This is the FCC because it's Bluetooth. That's your FCC statement. And your warranty stuff is actually inside of here. But if you notice, these three watches use two modules. They use a 3459, which is found in the metal square, and this one, the titanium. And then the plastic or resin 5600, which I have right here, uses the 3461 movement. They're basically the same movement except for the 3459 that you find in the metal, and the titanium has the STN display, which is super twisted pneumatic. It's basically a better LCD display, but the actual functions of all of these watches are the exact same. Bluetooth, you know, solar, atomic, everything else is the exact same except for the construction of the case and bracelet. And that's where this titanium is the Mac Daddy of all squares out there. There's just nothing out there that is better than this, better built, better specs. So if you want a square that's got the best specs you can possibly get, that's this watch. If you want a metal, now the differences are, let me tell you the differences. First, let me take this out. And I did a lot of research on this. Man, this watch is so cool. Golly. Sapphire crystal. You've got the diamond-like carbon coating all over the watch. Of course, the whole thing is titanium. I mean, the bracelet, the case back, everything is titanium on this watch. I mean, it's just fantastic to hold in the hand. See if I can get you a shot of that case back there. But there's a lot to go over this, so I might skip around a little bit, and I apologize if I do. Let me put this stuff back. I was just so happy I was going to be able to review this thing for the end of the year. I'm a little excited, guys. So let's go ahead and put all this stuff back. Let's take the watch out very carefully because this is a super expensive G-Shock. I mean, they have some limited edition, you know, like Frogmen and some of the others, some of like the Mr. G's. But guys, so far as squares go, this is the pinnacle. This is the zenith. This is the watch to have. If you are a hardcore G-Shock square enthusiast, you've got to have this watch in your collection. I totally understand why you want to have it. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than this. To me, personally, I think it's insane to spend this type of money on a square, especially when you can get the resin version right here, the exact same watch, minus obviously all the titanium, minus obviously the sapphire crystal in the DLC coating, and the STN display, the exact same watch function-wise as this one, minus all those other features. Now, if you want a metal watch and you want to get the metal, get the metal. You know, not the titanium, get just the regular metal, the stainless steel one. But you're looking at a price difference. All right, this one right here is about $130 or $140 now. These are the base specs of this one, okay? I guess y'all thought this was really more a review of just the titanium. But anyway, I love this watch because you're getting everything this one has function-wise for $1,200 less. Unless you have to have titanium, you know, unless you have to have metal, get this one, man. I mean, it's still a G-Shock. It's tough as hell. It's going to last forever. But here's the difference. All right, this is the all resin. Now, you do get a combi bracelet, which is a combination of stainless steel and resin. The stainless steel is obviously right here on the scissor clasp, the stamped scissor clasp. So this is your stainless steel portion. The links are all resin. As you can see, they're held together by a ton of spring bars. Right there, I don't know if you can see all those spring bars. But this one, you get all resin case, stainless steel combi bracelet, mineral crystal, you don't get sapphire. This has the 3461 module, so basically you're not getting the super nice STN LCD display. And this is 85 grams. So basically it's half the weight of the all metal. Not half the weight of the titanium, half the weight of the all metal. Now the metal square, not this titanium, the metal square, you're looking at around $450 to $500. It's all metal. You do get a DLC coated case back, not the whole watch, just the diamond light carbon case back. No sapphire crystal. You do get the nicer STN LCD display. Now this one has the 3459 module. It's 167 grams and it's made in Japan. So the metal square is about twice the weight of the all resin. And now you come to the titanium. The titanium, now, first of all, again, this is the GMW-B5000TB-1JR. That's in Japan. The rest of the world is a GMWB5000TB-1, and these are about $1,550, $1,500 to $1,600. All titanium, DLC coated everywhere, sapphire crystal, STN LCD display. Again, this also uses the 3459 module. It's 110 grams, which is about 2 ounces lighter than the all metal, and it's still heavier than the all resin GW-B5600BC-1ER. So even though you're getting titanium, it's still heavier than the all resin, which is about 85 grams. So it's roughly about an ounce heavier than this watch right here. So for an extra $1,300, you're saving an ounce. Is it worth it to you? Guys, I just can't see why, unless you have to have the titanium watch. And don't get me wrong, this watch is incredibly cool. The build quality is fantastic. I mean, it looks great. It feels great. It's a stunner, man. I mean, G-Shock has really made a stunner, but I just don't know, man, if it's worth $1,200 or $1,300 extra dollars to have this watch. Let me get all this other stuff out of the way here. But I had to review it. I had to take a look at this thing just for myself to see if it was worth it. And if you've got the extra money, by all means, go ahead and buy it. But the thing is, if you want to, flex a little bit, Nobody, unless they know about G-Shocks, is going to know what this watch is. They're not going to know it's titanium, unless they look on the dial. They're just going to think it's just a regular $40 or $50 G-Shock. Unless they ask you about it, or unless you offer to tell them about it, they're not going to know what this watch is. They just simply won't know, man. So if you're one of those types that likes to flex your watches, get this at your own risk. Be careful, because I guarantee you that people are not going to know how special this watch is. I mean, even looking at the surface, if you're looking at the words protection and G-Shock, they have like a gold paint, and it's kind of hard to see, but they have like a gold paint filling on the lettering. It just looks incredibly cool, man. I mean, the whole watch is just, built like a tank. Everything is titanium. This bracelet is beautiful. Each link has a little polish section right there. So when you do it and it kind of catches the light, it's basically a matte finish. It has a little tiny bit of a texture to it. But it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous watch, man. Everything is titanium. You get a machined scissor clasp. I would expect nothing less on a, roughly $1,600 watch. Just gorgeous. There's your case back. Of course, it tells you everything about the watch. It's solar, it's atomic, it's Bluetooth, it's made in Japan, it's all titanium. It's an absolute stunner. And if I had an extra $1,600 and I just had to have this watch, I would definitely get it. But then again, in the back of my head, I'm thinking $130 to $140 gets me this. Still a tough G-Shock, has all the same features, minus the sapphire and minus the, slightly nicer display. Honestly, guys, I can't tell the difference. Obviously, this display is tinted that kind of gold color, but I can't really see the difference for an extra, even if you were just to get the metal, which is about another $300, I just don't see the difference in the display quality itself. But anyway, again, that's up to you. Let me go ahead and try it on. Oh, man. Oh, golly. Man, it's just, it's light. It's not as light as the resin, obviously, but it's light. And I wanted to try to get a metal square in here, but I just couldn't get one in time. But golly, it feels great. Of course, you know what the lume does. Let me go ahead and kill the studio light and the monitor real quick just to show you the lume. The lume's really cool. It kind of fades in and fades out. And it does the same thing on the resin. So you tilt it. There you go. Tilt it on the resin. Let's do them both. Same thing. Guys, it's basically the same module, man. See if I can do them in unison here. There we go. Maybe the display on the left for the titanium looks a little bit brighter, possibly. I'm not quite sure. But I just don't know, man. It's just such a cool watch to begin with. But golly, $1,500, $1,600 for a G-Shock? Oh, man. You're going to have something on your wrist that's going to last forever. It's light. It's great looking. It's just a fantastic watch. And G-Shock has done a phenomenal job with the actual implementation of this watch. They had to make brand new molds because titanium is notoriously hard to work with. So they had to make brand new molds for the square case and all that stuff and the bracelet. But, again, is it worth it? Is it worth it to you to get one of these things? There are going to be thousands of people that say yes. Now, this isn't a limited edition, by the way. I'm not quite sure, how many of these they're going to make. I know they have to make their money back, obviously, with all the tooling costs they probably had to spend to actually make and produce this watch. Again, the movement is the same as in just the regular metal square watch. That this is the 3459 movement. You get the same movement in the titanium as you do the metal square. So they didn't have to worry about a different movement. They just had to worry about all this titanium. So guys, if you want to get one, head on over to Shopping in Japan's website. They're currently $1,686. This is the actual Japanese domestic market version. This is the made in Japan, meant for Japan market. That means a lot to some people. To me personally, it really doesn't mean that much. All G-Shocks are made to, G-Shock standards, whether they're made in Thailand, China, Japan, Malaysia. They're all made to incredibly good standards. So that doesn't really mean anything, but the made in Japan logo means a lot to some people, and I get it. I mean, it's just cool, know it's made in Japan. But then again, the quality I don't think is going to be that different than, say this watch right here is actually cased in China, made and cased in China. The movement's obviously made in Japan, but everything else is done in China. And it's a fantastic watch. I mean, it's just fantastic. I mean, they're all basically, governed by G-Shock's, policies and procedures and, quality specifications. So I really don't care where any G-Shock is made, to tell you the truth. I mean, those G-Shock managers, even if you're in a plant in Malaysia or Thailand, they have G-Shock management there to make sure all this stuff is made correctly. So, made in Japan, made in Thailand, made in China, made in Malaysia, whatever. Guys, honestly, it doesn't make a difference to me personally. It's just cool to say it's made in Japan, because Japan, in the last, God knows, 30 or 40 or 50 years, now made in Japan really does carry some weight. I mean, they're making some fantastic stuff. So anyway, guys, if you want to get this one, like I said, head on over shopping in Japan, $1,686. Make sure you use my coupon code MAV20 off. That's MAV20OFF, and that'll save you $20, which will cover most of your shipping costs from Japan. Guys, again, this is going to be my last review. I really appreciate it. I've had a fantastic year. I think I've gotten 3,000 or 4,000 new subscribers, maybe even a little bit more. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. You've made this a fantastic year for me. I've got a whole bunch of crazy cool stuff coming up in the next year. I'm going to take a couple of weeks off, enjoy the family, spoil the hell out of Maverick. I need to stop doing that, by the way. But I'm going to take a couple of weeks off. Y'all enjoy your holidays, enjoy your new year, be safe on the new year. And guys, that's really about it. As always, make sure you like and subscribe and click that notification bell. Merry Christmas, everyone. See you after holidays, and I'll see you on the next review. Take care. Bye-bye.